Did Robinhood's president trade AMC and GameStop on material non-public information? If you are an AMC investor, a GameStop investor, or a Robinhood user, you need to watch this video to hear what you are up against. But before I get into it, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so we keep making more of these videos for y'all. Earlier today, the documents of a class action lawsuit against Robinhood Markets were forced into the limelight. One Twitter user at unusual_whales made public certain aspects of the documents that don't particularly cast the company in a positive light, leading to the equity sell-off of about 3.5% by the end of the trading day. The lawsuit itself surrounds the actions of Robinhood related to several meme stocks. Specifically, the plaintiffs are after how the company handled itself in late January when it elected to implement what is referred to as a PCO, or a post-closing only policy. Robinhood made it so people with positions in certain suspended stocks, primarily meme stocks, could only see their positions closed out rather than expanded, meaning these stocks could only see positions sold and not purchased. And the big money quote comes here. There's a discussion in the internal communication platform within Robinhood where President Jim Swartwout says, "Selling my AMC, we are moving GME to 100%. Okay, so if you're enough of a masochist to go and read the lawsuit, you're going to find out that not only was Robinhood aware of their operations being pushed to the absolute limit by the swarm of new traders signing up on the platform, but certain execs were involved in trading as well. Mr. Swartwout, who we just mentioned, was trading these securities along with thousands and thousands of users on the platform. The difference being that Mr. Swartwout was effectively trading on material non-public information that obviously none of those users had access to. The other part of the quote outside of AMC that's interesting is where Mr. Swartwout mentions moving GME to 100%. This appears to be in reference to margin trading, effectively eliminating the ability of investors to trade the name on margin. This is important as he may have potentially tipped off people with this information that the equity will no longer be able to rise as fast because investors will only be able to trade the name with actual dollars versus loan dollars, which you get in a margin account. 2 days after Swartwout's sale of AMC Entertainment, the equity along with others was moved to PCO, meaning that the feverish buying was all but halted, enabling the equity to tumble as positions were forcefully closed. Another item to be highlighted here is that the PCO was implemented despite the firm's COO, David DeSalt, claiming within an internal memo that they believed that Robinhood was too big for them to actually shut us down. The them refers to the NSCC, or the National Securities Clearing Corporation, the firm tasked with managing the clearing of the trades. Okay guys, so the implication here is that Robinhood's president, whom somehow is permitted to day trade stocks despite his position at a retail brokerage house, effectively traded on material non-public information while also tipping some others off. Okay, so guys, if you're a retail investor, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, we're noticing a trend here. Just look at the actions by certain members of the Federal Reserve. It appears that those in certain positions are immune to the rules that are forced upon the rest of us. And the reason that I think people should be so upset is that this affects the little guy. Sammy Gonzalez, for example, who is one of the plaintiffs, held 11.6 shares of AMC, and he is watching a position that goes from $232 all the way down to a $60 position. Well, there's nothing he could do. Here's the thing about Sammy, and I don't know anything about Sammy, but he could be a construction worker, puts a little bit of money aside and decides, I'm going to risk this in the stock market. That money, though it might not sound like a lot, could represent groceries, a month of rent, or his kids' karate lessons. Sammy thinks he's playing a fair game, not a rigged game. He doesn't think that the guy who controls the app that he's trading on has the ability to work the system and shut the stock that he's in down. Well, that guy sells his shares knowing that it's going to plummet. The fact that Swartwout is able to trade individual securities while running a retail brokerage with millions of users blows my mind. What is compliance thinking? And as for Sammy, here he gets kicked in the nuts by some guy sitting in an office making millions of dollars and probably laughing at the retail investors as he does it. And there's even more to the story that is going to blow up from this lawsuit being filed. As Hyped Ape David says on Twitter, boom! New leaks from law case imply Citadel were in direct contact with Robinhood on the 28th of January regarding restricting the sale of AMC and GME. This is why Ken and Citadel are so specific about the 27th on Twitter. Reminder that the buy button was removed on the 28th. And funny enough, Griffen tweeted out just on Tuesday, "It must frustrate the conspiracy theorists to no end that Vlad and I have never texted, called, or met each other. But I must say, kudos to Vlad and his team at Robinhood for their remarkable success story." So we don't know if Vlad and Griffen actually spoke, but we do know that the two companies were communicating with each other. My message to the Ape Army is this: the whole Wall Street bets movement was effectively a sign that when small investors work together, they can move markets and they can stick it to the man. There's clearly a lot of smoke here, and there's probably a fire. Don't let up. Don't give up, because Lord knows this story ain't over. And as Ben Hunt from Epsilon Theory states, if this doesn't matter, then nothing matters. Last request, guys, please smash that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring that notification bell and let us know what you think in the comments. All right. Thank you, everybody.